Well, hello, hello. Welcome. This is the Defence Rests. I'm Jody, and hopefully, if you're watching this video, that means that you saw day one of the trial for Jose Ruiz, and you like the content, and you're back to watch day two. Day two is the state's, the prosecution's. They continue their case in chief, basically. It's a busy day today. They have, I think, 8 witnesses to get through. The list of the witnesses is in the description box below. A big thank you again to KSAT News and Judge Boyd for their coverage of the trial. A link to their pages is in the description box again below, and I recommend you go and like and subscribe. They have some amazing content on their channel. So day two of the Ruiz trial, can't even say it. So give yourselves a little bit of a pat on the back today, because you, and a gold star thumbs up, I have just popped my live stream cherry. First one, yes. So I'm sure there will be some bloopers and some mistakes and probably some costume issues, but nevertheless, we will endeavour to enjoy the journey together. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? Oh, please tell me that that wasn't all on mute. Oh, Lord. Is that the first blooper for the day? Yeah. Maybe we should have a counter on how many bloopers that Jody makes. Anyway, welcome to the Defence Rests. This is day two of the Ruiz trial. There is a graphic content warning. I'll just put that up. There we go. Yeah, it involves the unfortunate death of a 5-year-old girl, Mercedes Victoria Losoya. And on my channel, I have a little tribute to her. If you'd like to go and watch that video, it's only very short, but we never forget the victims. So today it includes as I said, the prosecution's case in chief, and we start off with this is their third witness, I think, fourth witness. They had 3 yesterday. This is the first of today. His name is RAUL HURTADO. He is from the San Antonio Police Department, and he basically went to Jose's apartment and videoed the walkthrough of the state of the apartment. Now, Jose was in the process of moving apartments at the time, so the apartment is fairly empty, but it was established that this was one of the crime scenes in the case. So let's watch from here. No spinny wheel. Take that off.
When I got to the scene, the lead CSI, Joe Rodriguez, he briefed me on it. And he just gave me incident details, saying that it was a possible crime scene.
How many CSIs were at the scene when you got there?
1, and then we had 2 assists, including myself.
Is it normal to have multiple CSIs working a scene?
This was a pretty large scene from the initial report, so it more than likely we do at least 3 or 4 on a case this big.
What's the purpose of having multiple CSIs?
just make sure that we're thorough, and then we have multiple tasks. So so we won't get bogged down, one of us, with a whole bunch of duties. We can prioritize and concentrate on each duty. So that's why they assign multiple.
You mentioned when you were talking
Milo.
about the duties of the CSI, one of them is videography, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Explain that to the jury.
Well, basically, it's just another form of documentation, and we either scan the scene, we photograph it, and we videotape it at times. But a case like this, where there's a death
I
of a
thought I
person,
had
we're
queued
gonna
it up
we're gonna
ready to
videotape
go
it.
at the, there we go, the walkthrough. This is Jose, the defendant. And this one here is one of the defense attorneys. So there is no audio through this video, but the witness will speak.
What was your duty or your assignment that day when you were at the apartment?
Hopefully you can hear that.
After getting with the other CSIs, I was tasked with collecting the evidence.
So everything that's marked.
Yes, ma'am. And that was a joint evidentiary search, all of us included.
What was the state of the apartment as you guys walked through it and searched?
Again,
Well, there was a
viewer
lot of personal
content,
effects left. A
but
lot
viewer
of
discretion is
trash.
advised. There is
Obviously somebody had vacated the premises.
clumps of hair and bits and pieces that could be triggering to people. So just be aware. Cleaning fluids, disposable gloves.
What are the things that are standing out to you as you're going through and watching this video again?
Just possible evidentiary items, DNA, cleansers and cleaners and liner gloves and things as such.
So this is the little Wi-Fi camera taking Australia by storm. This brand new subscription.
Can you kind of just talk the jury as we're watching? What objects are you guys zooming in on? So what's with this number 8 be?
Number 8 would be a used Band-Aid.
And then this would be number 9, correct?
That's correct.
What are you observing there?
Clothing and child's panties.
And then here at number 10.
Liners, glove liners.
Have we already seen several?
Jose had two, or has two
Yes,
pit bull
throughout the apartment there was. the sock and the Band-Aid.
What's being zoomed in on right now?
Thumbtacks.
That becomes important later, unfortunately.
And what about carrot number 12?
Looks like a 7.62 long gun.
Live ammunition.
Yes, ma'am. It looks like a 7.62 long gun ammo.
And then here at number 13.
Some type of case, some type of, I'm not too sure what you call it.
Dog shit everywhere. Filthy.
What's here at number 14?
A receipt.
And at 15?
Another sock.
I'll try not to burp.
What's here at number 20? Or 28, rather.
Yeah, it was some type of stain that was checked for apparent blood.
And number 17.
More hair strands.
Number 27, what is that?
27 was the sandals.
Oh. Excuse me.
What are you seeing at number 21?
21 was looked like it was a soiled puppy pad.
And number 18.
The sock. Matted hair.
Number 20.
Also matted hair.
zooming in. It's on mark here.
Some type of substance.
What's it, number 23?
I believe it was a upper garment,
Like a top.
like a top, yes.
Thumbtacks.
Thumbtack.
And what's here at number 25? If you know.
Yes, it looked like the package for a bandage. Or partial, a partial.
Officer Hurtado, how many clumps of hair were collected in the crime scene?
I would have to refer to my
Yeah,
report,
you
but
want to
yeah.
refer to-
There are 3 locations that are
That's what you get
actually
for not
going to
paying
boom.
premium
A lot of
YouTube.
people think right now is not a good time.
Go away.
I counted 6.
And how many thumbtacks were collected?
Multiple. Yeah, multiple.
Your Honor, may I approach? Yes. I'm showing you photos that have been marked as State's Exhibits 42 through 64, and then 66 through 72. I apologize, I had a disc in the middle of them. Can you please flip through these?
They're just photos from the video that we just saw. Not sure if that video is finished. Just check. No, it's not. Keep watching. Oh, yes, it is. All right. So we
Really
now
small.
move on to the second witness, state witness
Of the jury in the court report
number
is
2 of the
here.
day.
If you'll state your name for the record.
My name is
Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Can you please briefly introduce yourself to the jury?
As I said, I'm Christopher Lloyd. I've been with the San Antonio Police Department for approximately 11 years. I've been assigned to the homicide unit for approximately 3 years now.
What kind of training and schooling did you have to become an officer with SAPD?
Prior to joining the department, I went through the approximately 9-month academy classes. Inside those classes, we learned the different aspects of law application within policing in the communities. While in the homicide unit, I also attended classes for arrest, search, and seizure.
All right. So Christopher Lloyd is part of the San Antonio Police Department in the homicide division. He basically just goes through his qualifications and experience, and then he interviews Jose, which is the bit that I want to get to. So It's an audio recording. And it starts right about here. So this is the first interview of Jose. First of two.
Fast forward a few seconds.
Hopefully the audio. Hopefully that's okay. Let me know if you can hear it properly or not. In the comments.
Sorry about the wait. I'm not new on the whole situation, so I'm new to the situation, so I'm always going to can I start with your name, please? Ruiz. J-O-S-E.
Your passer at 48. Who are the two voices we hear speaking right now?
The primary voice you hear is mine, and the secondary voice is the. Like a big shirt or something? I don't. What's a good home
Terrible
address?
audio.
4618 Pencil School, 4618 Pencil. And like pencil, hands up, and then R-E-S, signal, that's all kind of. Where's that at? Right down the monkey side, right behind Euro Stadium, off of Thousand Oaks. So that's 78233, yes, sir. That go. Do you have a job right now? No, I'm not on a job right now. Yeah. Maximum volume. Yes. Do you have a good cell phone? 210. Well, I don't have my phone, so. Yeah, but you'll get it back though, right? I don't know. What was the number you used the last time? 612 1169. 1169? Oh, you had that phone?
He's getting his mobile phone number.
Your election, is that a number? 0 Your DL driver's license? Oh, no, you don't have one? I do, you know your social, 635 54 26.
It's just his personal information. Oh, stop it.
Are you married or not? No. Are you dating somebody? I was dating Katrina. Katrina. Is it Kay? Yes. What's her last name? Mendoza. How old is she? 22. How long are we together? More than a year. A year? No more than a year. More than a year. No, not a year. Less than a year. Was one house. Nearest relative, if we're trying to find you in Montana, 210 689 7132. Irene Ruiz. That's a tongue twister. Irene Ruiz. That's my.
How to open your car door while submerged underwater. A fatal construction flaw in all recent
Is that
automobiles.
all right?
Where she was at? That address, San Jose. And Fresco. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna read you this, and then we'll see what goes. So, according to the rights of your suspect, before you ask any questions, it is my duty as a police officer to advise you of your rights and to warn you of the consequences of waiving these rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to make any statement.
Reading Miss Miranda rights.
Any statement that you
You have
make
to
will
do
be
that.
used in evidence
Do
against you
anything
for law or trial.
from here on in the district court.
Excuse me, you have a right to have a lawyer present to advise you before doing any questions by police officers or attorneys representing the state You may have your own lawyer present, or if you're unable,
If you can't hear that, the Miranda rights are, you know, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed to you, blah, blah.
So what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. We had a training on and off, so I told her like 3 days ago. I guess that was the last time I really seen her when she was in my apartment. When I seen the kids, good, walking, talking,
Last
eating,
time he saw her, she was
sleep,
fine.
right? And I don't know, the last one fired or whatever, and she telling me, because I'm in the middle of moving from apartment to apartment, because I just went to an apartment down there.
He's in the middle of moving apartments.
1156 Lance Jackson. 1530 Lance Jackson. Where are you moving to? I already moved there, and I'm living there currently at Park Green Townhouse. Park Green Townhouse? Yes, sir. You know,
He was in the process of moving in with his two brothers, Rocco and Ruby.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's that for good memory.
Okay, so and then okay, and I don't know. We get this right, so I take off to go get the U-Haul, and what else? I don't know, but I'm out in the streets for like a good 2 hours, and I come back home, the tunes on, kids are on, all that shit's on. I'm like, all right, whatever. She goes and goes to Jeanette's house. But Jeanette, she's the one that lives right next to me in the same apartment. In Park Green Townhouse.
So he's basically saying that the mother, which is Katrina Mendoza, was staying at a girlfriend's house whose name is Jeanette, who's in the same apartment complex as he is. They had been living together for the 3 weeks leading up to the incident, and they had had an argument or disagreement on the Friday prior, and this interview is the Tuesday. The incident occurred on the 7th of February, which was the Monday, and Katrina had been staying with her 2 kids at Jeanette's house for the weekend leading up to the incident.
She goes over there, and I don't know, she stays over there for 2 days, I guess. And she was telling me everything's fine. And then today comes, and even Jeanette, me and Jeanette were talking, and she says, yeah, she was fine last night. Mercedes, she was fine. She was fine last night. She was eating. One thing she was complaining about was her mouth. Like, it was hurting, and she couldn't chew. And I'm like, all right, this is Ruiz, and I was like, okay. And then, well, I left to go get something to eat for my little brothers from the news. I was in line, and Katrina calls me, and she tells me, I need you to come right now. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, it's Mercedes. And I'm like, what? Like, you got.
This audio is terrible. So we're going to move on to the next witness, who is Detective Lawrence SAIZ, who is the lead investigator of the San Antonio Police Department in this case. And he also does an interview with Jose. So we'll watch that one, I think. So where do we start? We'll do the intro of Detective Lawrence. 56. There we go. This is the channel if you'd like to press play. If you'd like to like and subscribe, head on over there. This is the detective, lead investigator. This is the defense attorney.
All right, everyone, please be
One of
seated.
them.
State, call your next witness.
Prosecution team across here.
Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give
Judge
will be
Boyd.
the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and state your name for the record. Be sure to keep your voice up so that members of the jury and the court reporter can hear.
My name is Lawrence, LAWRENCE, SAIZ, SAIZ.
Can you tell
I
me
think I
where
spelled
are
that
you
wrong in the
currently
description.
employed?
I'm employed by the city of San Antonio with the police department.
San Antonio Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a San Antonio police officer?
29 years.
Are you a licensed peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe your career throughout the 29 years of SAPD?
I started with the police department, of course, going through training with the police academy, served on patrol for several years before I promoted to detective in 2008. Been a detective for the past 16 years. Was assigned to property crimes, robbery, before I was assigned to the homicide unit in 2013. I've been there just over 10 years.
In your 10 years on the homicide unit, how many child death cases have you handled approximately?
I would say in the range of 30.
And does that number go up when
It's
you
30
have
too many.
adult homicides?
Yes, ma'am.
How, as a homicide detective, how do you get assigned a case?
We work on a rotation. So we have a team of X number of detectives, and we rotate. When we climb the ladder on the rotation board, then we're up at the top. That's when it's our turn to catch a case. We're on call 24 hours until we do catch that case. When we're on call and a case comes in, we're notified by a supervisor of where it's at, basic details about it, and we respond to that scene.
Okay. And so that's no matter what time of day it is, you have to go out the second you get a new homicide case.
Yes.
And did you get assigned a case on February 7th of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you got assigned that case, what did you do first?
The first thing I did was called one of the detectives that was at the scene, one of the night detectives, Detective Nelson, Chad Nelson. He explained to me.
Without saying what he told you, what did you do next?
I just made sure that I had some good information about what was going on, and then responded directly to the scene.
Okay. And what did you expect to be responding to?
A bad case, a bad situation.
Specifically?
A deceased child.
At this point, do you know how old that child is?
5 years old.
Okay. And where did you go?
It was a hospital on the south side. I can't remember the name of it at the time, and I believe it's been shut down since.
Did you do a report in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you do a report in every case?
Yes.
Would seeing a copy of your report help refresh your memory over the course of your testimony?
Yes.
No objection.
I'm not admitting it, just showing for purposes of recollection. May I approach that? I'm sorry. Yes. Showing what I've marked it, States Exhibit 78. Is this a copy of your report?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and it is fairly long. So is it all 37 pages of your report?
Yes.
Okay. If you'll take a minute and refresh your memory, and then I think my question was, where specifically did you go?
Got a nice shiny head. Could bounce ping pong balls off that.
Okay, let's look at the beginning here.
Teresa looks like she's fallen asleep. I think she's half asleep throughout the entire trial, just quietly. Certainly doesn't pay attention.
This may take me a little time. Sorry.
That's okay. We can move on. Do you know the general location of where the hospital was?
I was on the south side, just south of Military Drive.
Okay. And when you got there, what did you do first?
First thing I did was contact Detective Nelson and the handling officers,
Okay.
just to get all the information, people's names, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And what did you do next?
After that, I was directed and escorted to a room where Mercedes was.
Okay. Who all was with you when you walked into the room where Mercedes was?
It was myself, Detective Nelson, and some of the nursing staff.
Tell me, describe this. Describe walking into this room. What do you see first?
What I see is Mercedes laying on her back on an exam table.
Is she covered?
No.
May I approach her?
Yes.
Get this out of order. I'm going to show you some photos that were previously admitted into evidence.
It's okay. They don't show any photos
9, 10,
to the public
12,
or any graphic
13,
pictures of her.
14, 16, 17, 18.
They do describe it though, so just beware.
19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 33, 34, 35 through 30. Actually, I'm sorry, 35, 37, and 38. Just take a look at those. And is this the condition you saw Mercedes in?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to put them on the screen and go over these with you.
They put them on the screen, but we don't get to see them,
Okay.
thankfully.
Starting with, this is State's Exhibit 8. No, it's not better that way. Can you describe what you're seeing here?
This is Mercedes, a headshot of Mercedes.
Okay. And does she have injuries on her face?
Yes.
Can you describe what kind of injuries you see or what kind of markings you see in State's Exhibit 9?
Scrapes and bruises and the hair loss.
State's Exhibit 10. Maybe. It's not. 10 and 12.
Those are photographs of her head that show that she's missing large amounts of hair.
Okay. And specifically in State's Exhibit 12, is there an additional injury besides hair loss?
Yes.
The hair was yanked
State's
out of her
Exhibit
head.
13.
Another photograph that's showing her head and face and her upper body.
14. What do you see here?
More bruising and injuries.
State's Exhibit
So we're-
17.
Where she's turned on her sides, you can see the backside and that there are just more injuries on the back. They're like the front.
Let's go to State's Exhibit 19.
Another photograph of her backside.
In your opinion, of the 30 plus child deaths that you've worked, Did she have an extensive amount of injuries in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay, this is State's Exhibit 20. What are we looking at here?
More bruising and scrapes.
What part of her body is that?
This would be her right side, arm and back.
State's Exhibit 21.
I believe it's a photograph of her legs.
There we go. Okay. Her legs, and I think we see another part of her body. What else do we see in this photo?
Her right hand.
Okay. State's Exhibit 23.
Another photograph of her backside, exposing her buttocks area.
And 24.
Another photograph of her right side that shows the bruising on her upper thigh, buttocks area.
In State's Exhibit 27, is there anything unique about the bruises on her legs here?
This caught my attention where it looked like a pattern mark.
Why does that catch your attention?
To me, that that indicates that something was used on her, a belt or some type of item that would leave a mark,
Okay.
a distinct mark.
State's Exhibit 28.
It's a photograph of the backsides of her legs with the bruising and injuries.
State's 29.
Her left forearm and hand, wrist area with more
then-
bruising.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it not focused?
It was.
Okay. State's 34.
Photograph of her right hand with the extensive bruising and swelling.
State's 33.
It's a photograph of her left foot with the injuries to her toes.
Okay. And what about the bottom of her foot? Did anything catch your attention there?
It did. It appeared like there were small puncture wounds in the bottom of her feet.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 37.
It's a photograph of her right foot with the toes, where you see the scrapes and cuts and bruising.
Okay. And last 38.
The photograph of her left foot with the similar injuries and with some missing toenails.
This is apparently punishment.
After seeing the condition of Mercedes' body,
Right, I think
did
we'll
your
skip
case
to
take a different direction?
Yes.
Why is that?
215.
Well, at that point, there was no mystery what happened to her, and the people involved with what happened to her
3
were
minutes.
there.
May as well watch it.
At this point, did you have people that you wanted to talk to and concerns for causing those injuries?
I did.
Who were those people?
Katrina Mendoza, Mercedes' mother, and Jose Ruiz, Katrina's boyfriend.
Who else did you talk to while at the hospital?
While at the hospital, it was officers and staff. We did request Child Protective Services, and they sent 2 special investigators to the scene or to the hospital.
Why did you request Child Protective
Anthony Adame.
Any child case, we're required to notify them, and because of the severity of this and it being a child death, we needed them to come out. I also had knowledge that Mercedes' older sister Jordan was there, and we had to make sure she was protected.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've already testified that Mercedes was 5 years old. Do you know how old Jordan was?
She was 6 at the time.
So what did you do after leaving the hospital?
Well, I did a few more things at the hospital. I don't know if you want
I apologize. What did you do next?
One of the things I did is I wanted to make sure that Jordan was okay. So I did ask the medical staff to check her, examine her, make sure she wasn't injured.
Okay. Was she okay?
She was okay. And I also notified the medical examiner's office to make sure they were aware of Mercedes' death, and just to coordinate and let them know that I wanted to be advised of the autopsy when it was going to happen so I could be there.
Okay. And then, is that all you did at the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do after leaving the hospital?
after leaving the hospital, I had instructed or asked officers to transport Katrina and Jose to our office, the homicide office, so I could interview them, question them.
Okay, is that where you went next?
Yes.
Did you have at this point in your investigation any indication of where the possible crime scene would have been?
I did not. I knew she was transported to the hospital in a vehicle, so that was one crime scene. And then I was told that Detective Lander from the night detectives got a search warrant for an apartment at 13013 Park Crossing.
Do you know whose apartment that was?
I was told that was Jose's apartment.
When you got back to headquarters, what did you do first?
The first thing I did was I spoke to Katrina.
Okay. Without telling me what Katrina says, what was her demeanor during this interview?
She was cooperative. She was talking to me, giving me a lot of information. But the feeling I got was that she was in the, I need to take care of myself here because I'm caught. This is, a bad situation. And how do you explain what we saw with Mercedes?
Okay, and then after talking to Katrina, what did you do next?
I talked to Jose.
Okay. Is that, what was Jose's demeanor during the interview?
He was, of course, something we always see is they try to divert to other people, minimize their involvement in whatever situation.
Sorry, sir, I can't understand. Can you speak a little slowly, more slowly?
Yes, ma'am. His demeanor was something we typically see where they try to divert their, to someone else or try to make us look at someone else more closely. In this case, he was trying to push everything toward Katrina. And quite frankly, he came off as very arrogant.
When you interview anyone at headquarters, are those videos recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they, how is that done?
We have in our interview rooms, each one is set up with a video and audio recording system.
Okay, and do you have to start those?
We do.
And did you do so while interviewing Jose?
Yes.
And was the video equipment working correctly that day?
Yes.
May I approach Judge?
Yes.
I'm showing you it's been marked as State's Exhibit 77. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you recognize it?
It's marked with my initials, badge number, and a date that I've reviewed it.
Okay. Did you review it prior to coming here
Yes.
to court? Okay. Is this a true and accurate audio of the interview you did with Jose Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, was this done on February 7th of 2022?
It was.
No objection, Your Honor. Which exhibit number?
77, Judge.
All right, are you offering 77?
I am.
No objection, Your Honor. Spoke early. All right, 77 is admitted without objection.
May I publish to the jury?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the audio recording of Detective Lawrence Saiz's with the defendant, Jose Ruiz. Hopefully the quality is better. Doesn't sound like it. I think they'd have much better quality in their interview rooms.
I'm going to fast forward a little before he
Yeah,
comes around.
please. Sounds like a hurricane.
The size.
Starting the video at 1:09.
Okay, I'll say, this is the first time we've met. I'm Detective SAIZ. Okay? Yeah, it's a little chilly. Whatever. It's a little cool again. So, so I was notified and, about Mercedes. So I'm a lead investigator, kind of figure out what happened. Okay. I know you already talked to Detective Lloyd a little bit. I asked him to come in and talk to you. Just to kind of get an idea of where we're at. All right. I appreciate you talking to him. You good still talking to me? Yeah. Okay. So I want to get a little more in depth with you. Okay. First I want to get to know you. Okay. Like I said, it's the first time we met, right? You lived in San Antonio your whole life?
Oh, we're keeping you up, Jose, are we?
Okay, so you're born and raised in San Antonio. Got a lot of family here. Are you close with them? My brother's here. Your brother? Yeah, my brother's here. What's your brother's name? Okay. Yeah, he does most of it with me. Okay. Yeah, pretty tight, pretty close? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about mom and dad? My dad's in prison.
His dad's in prison.
What's dad in prison? I wouldn't know his charge, but I know he's in there.
This interview goes for about 40 minutes.
How old was the little girl? I don't know. She was like 15. Oh, really? Yeah. When did that happen? Before I was born. Before you were born? Yeah, my mom was pregnant with me. Oh, wow. How old are you now? I'm 25. 25. I ain't seen him since. So you never visited him or anything? Like your mom told you what he was in jail for? Okay. What was mom like? Mom? Yeah, y'all were on and off, you said? Yeah, this is we have a little moments like this. When you were younger, was she pretty rough? No, but I had a stepdad that was. Stepdad was? What was he like?
Now, he's basically, I'm not sure if you can hear that clearly or not, but he's explaining that his father is in prison. He was apparently a violent man, particularly to Jose and to his mother. But Jose is one of 7 children. His mother had 3 children to her first and then 4 to her second, which was Reuben. And it was Reuben that brought Jose up because the father was in prison. And he had a workplace accident 2 years into their relationship. So when Jose was 2 or 3, and never went back to work. And that's when he became violent towards Jose and the mother as well. So that's pretty much the background of him at the moment. So we can fast forward to.
That's how much they were selling if she left him. At any point, did she ask you to take care of the girls so she could get to take care of something, or? I don't think so. She would let me ride around on Mercedes and doing this. I just go. Yeah. She let Mercedes go with you? Yeah, she let Jordan go. Jordan too? Yeah, just to get him out and do that? Just to ride. Just drive. Yeah, just to get out of the house. Or she needed a time. Okay. So you had no problem doing that? Yeah. They're good girls. You can be honest. Yeah, they can be honest. Mercedes was bad, that's why she got pregnant. Jordan was good. But Mercedes just, I don't know. She just didn't.
Was this interrupt us?
She didn't think Katrina was her mom because of the way Katrina raised her. She raised her and left her there. Well, she was on the street and everything. She left her there with her godparents, and her godparents has a daughter, and the daughter is like, to put all this shit on Mercedes here, they don't love you, we love you, you're gonna come with us, all this nonsense, and that will feed into Mercedes' head, and she would just rebel, I guess, because she thought that really wasn't her mom, and she would just rebel. What would she do? She would, like I told the other day, she would piss herself, like, we'll have a long conversation, she was like pissing herself. She'll start crying, like not crying, but like whining if we give her a sandwich.
So
She don't punish her
so
with something
whining.
to sandwich. And she'll start crying with lettuce, cheese, to like, I don't like lettuce, I don't like cheese, I don't like ham. Okay, so that's what you're gonna eat if you want it. And then, yeah, she would just be loud. We tell her go take a shower and start crying. We tell her go sit down, sit there. She couldn't sit down and sit there. She would move. She would just move around, go to the kitchen, get some drink, do whatever she wanted. No, she wouldn't be bad, but she was bad. So she just had no discipline. No discipline. Yes, there you go. No discipline.
He's saying that
No. And when she did get disciplined,
any discipline from the mother,
it was
none.
murder. She hated
So that was his job.
What kind of discipline was
Big strong man.
She would get on her knees. She would get on her knees, not wait or anything, but she would get on her knees in the corner and stay there. And then she would just get ass whoopings on her ass. And then, with what? With her hand. With her hand? And sometimes the belt, and I would notice the belt wraps around her. And when I asked, so you would see this after? Yeah, she was looking at me. And I would stop. You would stop her. What would you say? I just chill out. Just chill. Just like. Okay. Tell me all about that discipline, what you saw happen with Mercedes. Oh, that's all I would see. Like that's what I really do. I really want to see her discipline her like that. Just the time out, the sandwiches, and the ass whoopings on the ass. And that's it. And the means of the time out. Okay. So you moved to your apartment yesterday? I believe so. Yesterday night, I was in the middle of moving all day. Okay, so when you guys get to the hospital with Mercedes, you moved into the apartment the night before? When you got to the hospital with Mercedes? Yeah, when you got to the hospital with Mercedes. So, this night, right? Yeah. During the before? Yeah.
We just moved apartments that weekend.
The night before that is when you moved into your apartment? Yes. So where's that at? The apartment in townhouse. Okay. You don't know the address? Oh, no, that's how, right, no, I'm living on my apartment number. Okay. Yeah. You live there with your brothers? No, did you live with you in Jackson? No. No? Just in this one? Yeah. Okay. So before you living with my mom? They were living with your mom? Yeah. Okay. My little brother, and then they wanted to get on my mom, so I was like, come on. Get on apartment. How old are your brothers? Oh, one's like 23, 24, and one's 19. Okay, so they're grown. Okay, so before you moved into this new apartment, when was the last time you saw 3 days between the girls? 3 days before that? Yeah, what I was telling him. 3 days before you moved into the apartment? No. 3 days before everything happened. Okay.
Yeah, he'd seen Mercedes on the Friday or
Not coming today. Today. Last night. Monday. Yeah. Monday. Friday, we got in a little argument overnight, right?
Friday they had an argument.
Saturday, I tell her, she tells me, hey, I want to get out the house. I'm gonna go eat with Jeanette. I'm like, okay, but please, she doesn't have a key to my apartment. She don't need that. I tell her, please, don't leave. don't leave because nobody's there. All my shit's inside. You have no way to lock the door. And we just start arguing. I'm leaving. You'll see. You'll find a way to lock your door and all this shit. I'm like, all right. I take off. I go get my U-Haul. And I go get something to eat. And then I come back. When I come back, I'm knocking on the door. Nobody's answering. I go look at my window, and there's a lock on it to like on the side for it to stop coming up. That was locked. And I put two and together. She went out the window, locked my door. I was like, fuck, all right. So I go inside and lock my door, whatever. Everything was on. Not everything, but all her shit's gone. All her shit. Her stuff. Yeah, her stuff. Jordan, Mercedes, everything. Whatever she brought, gone. I'm like, all right, she left. Okay, cool, fine, good. Then I'm moving all day with my brothers, my little brothers. And then we finally move in. Everything's good. I'm not talking to her. I'm texting her, bro. That's it. And there's nothing. Just arguing. Like, bro, I'm tired of it. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to do it. She loves arguing. And then I don't know. I just. You got to the point where you moved into your new apartment. Oh yeah, I moved in, and I moved into the apartment. Everything was good. Didn't talk to her, didn't see her. She didn't say nothing about Mercedes. We didn't see nothing. The next day comes morning time. What's that? What day is that? Friday, so Sunday. Sunday, we're good. I'm chilling. All day. Just home, smoking, you know. And then yesterday was Monday, right?
Is this me, or does that Vincent look like something out of the window?
She calls me, hey, I need you to come over here. And don't mind me, she's right here, and I'm
Terrible.
right? So Jeanette. Yeah, Jeanette. She went to go stay with Jeanette. And I'm like, what's happening? Mercedes, you see, she's not using her body. And it's probably just fatigue. She needs to eat. And we should give her some things, supplement shakes or whatever. I was gonna get those. So that she can drink these and she'll be fine. So I went over to Jeanette's. I pulled up. She said, I need you to come and remind you, I'm over here and the really was trying to get some food from my level. She said, I need you to come now. All right, so I get out of the windows line and I take off. And I go, I pull up to Jeanette's house. She's outside waiting for me. So I go inside and then she's like, hurry. And I'll go. And it's Mercedes.
Katrina, the mother, has called Jose.
She's like having struggles breathing. But mind you, like I told you,
Mercedes is laying on the couch.
she's done this before, like where she's held her bread like that, and we had to make her breathe, like chest, but she was doing that on purpose. So I was like, all right, just do what we did last time, compression, a little more compression, because her eyes were really bad.
Her eyes are rolling back in her head, and they're doing CPR.
I don't know how to do that, mind you. This is the first time it worked, you know. So I'm doing compressions or whatever, and then she's good. Like her eyes go, like they're right here, like up here. They go come down like ours, and she's looking around, and she's talking like normal. Like she's like she was going like that at first.
And she regained consciousness and starts talking again.
Burping her back, and then she came to it, I guess. And I asked the trainer, I was like, what happened? She said, I don't know, I was feeding her, and then she had to go use the restroom, and I just heard
Feeding her.
and I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I guess she's hitting her head.
Really?
And then I tried to stand her up, and then she hit her head again. I'm like, bro, that's like common sense. I said, common fucking sense. And I told her, you need to take her to the hospital. You need to take her to the hospital.
To her, you need to take her to hospital.
She's gonna be okay. And honestly, she was okay. Like, all honesty, she was. She came good. talking, everything was good.
She
And
came
then
good and was
next
talking
one,
again.
maybe 10 minutes later, and then we didn't want Jeanette to see. So we just got her, took her to my room. And by then she was pissed. By then she was laying there on my bed, talking to us, telling us what hurts, what doesn't hurt. We're touching her hands, and like, does that hurt? We're touching her feet hurt. And we're all like, okay, we just kept touching her with her. And then I gave her compressions again because her eyes were rolling back. And this
So she was
time I
okay
gave her
for 10 minutes,
compressions and gave her
and then I
prayer
started rolling back and was
food
giving her
through her.
compressions again.
When I saw that happen, I threw her on her side.
You
And
turned
tried to
around and
make
stopped.
everything come out, you know? And I was rubbing her back like that, like that, and like that, and I felt it all in her, like in the middle of her spine, you can feel it all like liquidy. And you go like that, and every time you go like that, it comes up. And I'm like, okay. And then she does that for a little bit, and then she's good. She goes back to breathing right, she goes back to doing good. I'm like, okay. And then we leave her there for a little bit, and then she starts doing the same shit. And this time.
So she was vomiting, and then she came good, and then she started again.
And take her to the hospital. And the reason I can't take her to the hospital, I thought I had it, not the first time. You know, the first time it was worse. She went unconscious, everything. Gave her CPR, thank God she came back. You know? And then this time I'm guessing it was the food in her lungs because she was eating like consume the down cup and applesauce. But I don't know how she was getting fed. So that's what I think it was. She was just kept throwing up all her food. And I said, fuck. And then when we came over here, she called her dad, and her dad was like,
Right, so they're in the car now, on the way to the hospital, and Katrina calls her dad, who lives on the south side. So if you didn't watch yesterday's trial recap, where Katrina and Jose were living was 25 minutes away from the particular hospital that they took her to, because that was the closest one to where Katrina's father was, and she wanted him to meet her at the hospital to take Jordan for her. And they passed at least 5 hospitals and 1 emergency medical centre along the way, and they presented the map yesterday as part of the testimony from one of the officers. So let's continue. This is nearly done, and we'll move on to the next one.
have you ever heard of 911? Yes.
Yeah. No one called 911. They drove 25 minutes instead.
You know, you can call that number for help. Why didn't you call 911? She was fine. And then she didn't have a phone. She had left it at Jeanette's. Right. And she ran back to go to Jeanette's.
They didn't call 911 because Katrina didn't have a phone of her own, but she had hold of Jose's phone to call her dad.
Thinking that's better than calling 911, waiting there for calling 911. Yeah. You know, usually 911 takes forever. Well,
Usually 911 takes forever.
honestly, it's quicker than from there. Yeah, I know, but honestly, yeah, they would get. Honestly, I didn't know she wanted me to go there. I thought we were going to the Northeast Baptist. Okay. And then I asked her, she's the mother, you know? Mm-hmm. I know I'm driving, but I asked her, hey, what do we do here? Well, what do you want me to do? I'm freaking out, you know? And she's freaking out too, and she's like, I'll call my dad. And she called her dad. And her dad was like, bring him over here, bring her over here, bring her over here. Mm-hmm. And there we go. So here's my dilemma. You know what a dilemma is? I'm puzzled. Okay, things I need to figure out. I've talked to Katrina, okay, quite a bit. So she's telling me all this stuff. And now I've talked to you, okay? Your stories aren't making sense, okay? I think you had this one initially that y'all had discussed or whatever, or this is what happened. That's really what happened. I have a lot of unanswered questions. One big question I have is at the hospital, why don't you go in with him?
She told me, I don't want my dad to see you. I don't want my dad to see you. Okay? Okay? Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I don't even ask. I don't ask. I don't know why. I guess her dad didn't know she had a dude at the time. I don't know. I do what I'm told. Just like I'm told to take her to the hospital, I take her to the hospital. Just like I'm told to give her CPR, I give her CPR. I help her.
Okay.
I try, at least I try.
What did you think when you saw her?
I saw her and I was like, yeah, she's having trouble breathing. That's what I thought. She's having trouble breathing.
Yeah. You know what I saw when I first saw Mercedes in my father? Somebody, some devil has been abusing and torturing this little girl. That's what I thought. That little girl was tortured. And there's two adults that had access to that little girl. You and Katrina. So there comes a point, okay, and you, man to man, you know, we've talked, we've got to know each other a little bit here. You've been through it. You grew up in it. Okay? And we have an opportunity here now to talk to you tonight. This is going to be our only chance to talk. I'm not stupid. Okay? And there comes a time when you have to,
Man up. I'm telling you.
I want to hear no more
No,
excuses here and there.
they're not excuses. I'm telling you.
I know you don't beat the hell out of that little girl. I know you don't torture that little girl. And it's sick. All right? And I need the truth. What's going to happen is they're going to do an autopsy. The doctor's going to tell me everything that's wrong with it. Okay? We're going to keep talking to the people. We're going to keep investigating. Okay? And we're going to hold people responsible. Because that little girl,
I understand.
just like we said earlier, she didn't deserve it. She didn't. I don't care how bad she was. No kid deserves it. No adult deserves what she got.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think there's people who have been in war prisons who have been treated the way she probably was. But that's the impression I got when I first saw her. And I've seen a lot of bad things. That's all I do. That's my job. I see bad things. Okay? So I know what Katrina's telling me. And now I know what you've told me. And I'm going to tell you right now, what Katrina's telling me makes the most sense. It lines up with everything. It even lines up with some of the things you said. Okay? So you can explain to me how this got so out of hand, so out of control.
I didn't see her DDs. I didn't see
Jose, listen to me.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you straight now. You beat the shit out of that little girl. You tortured that little girl. Don't put your head back. Look at me in the eyes. You know what you did.
I did not torture that.
Yes, you did, and you need to be a man and be responsible for what you did.
So
Okay?
you want me
The way, listen to me.
to take this man?
No, I want you to tell the truth. Because there's a 5-year-old little girl dead.
Yes, I
Beat
understand.
to shit. Anybody that sees the pictures of her, the people that had to see her tonight, the nurses, the other officers, the other people that were there that had to see her, they're traumatized because of what happened to
Absolutely.
that little girl by a grown man. No. Don't do that. Listen, we're gonna talk man to man. We're gonna talk man to man.
Her background before you come accuse me.
I know all about it. I know all about it.
All that shit.
I know all about it. And I knew you were gonna bring that up. But listen, we just talked. We just talked. Okay, we just talked. And I know what you've been through.
I know what you, because I've been through that, doesn't mean I can go, and that makes no sense.
It makes all the sense because that's, listen to me. Have you always, you gonna be quiet and listen to me? Just listen to me.
No, it's not making sense.
It is making sense, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, these little injuries on your hands from the rings.
That's from my ring, it's too tight.
Yeah.
Where? Bro, I swear to God.
Hold your tongue, don't swear to God. Hold your tongue for a minute, and listen to me, put your hands back. No,
Got injury on my hand because my ring was too tight.
okay, all over there. You can't hide when you do these things.
I promise, they get tight and they gotta turn them and pull them off.
And this is what I'm telling you, we're also bringing the brothers down here to talk to you.
That's fine.
Okay.
They
said they wanted to come down here and talk.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, because they know what was going on.
They do. They do.
Okay. So.
They know, so
You need to tell me exactly what happened to this little girl.
I'm telling exactly what I told your partner, exactly what I told you. That's exactly what happened. Her
I call
bruises,
bullshit.
the past bruises she's had, that's something completely different. I don't know what the bruises are from.
Yes, you do.
Well, how do you know the bruises are from the past if you don't know what they're from?
Because I've seen them before. They're not from this.
Here's the deal, Jose.
Yes, honestly.
You are now,
Yeah, I see that.
you are now somebody I see as a killer,
I understand.
as an animal. And you know I'm right.
No, you're not right.
Yeah.
I swear you're not right.
So you want me to get Katrina, bring her in, we can three of us talk about it?
All talk. Please,
All three of us?
All three of us.
What do you think I have with that?
All three of us. Because that was not my fault. Jeanette even said that little girl was fine. Whenever she seen her before she went to work, she saw her wake up. She saw her.
That little girl has
good.
been fine for a long time. If you think that you saw her this morning, wake up, and you saw
I
her,
didn't see her.
and you thought she was fine,
Jeanette.
that girl is beat from head to toe. Head to toe. Slapped around. She's missing hair from somebody pulling it out.
Okay. Bro, okay.
Right? Think about all the things you did. You thought you were disciplining her. You weren't. You were killing her. And now you're just demonstrating to me that you're a coward.
I don't even know what to tell you.
Tell me the truth.
About what happened to this girl. I'm telling you what happened. She was fine. She was fine. She was fine.
Not fine.
She was fine. She was good whenever she left my apartment. She was good.
Tell me about all the times you disciplined her.
I disciplined her.
Tell me all the times that you disciplined her. What you did to her to
I
discipline
put
her.
her in the fucking corner. I put her, smacked on her ass.
Smacked her on her ass. Put her in the corner.
Tell me what you did to this girl.
I put her on her fucking knees. I put her on her knees. Put her hands out like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Put her hands up.
Yeah, like that. And that's it. That's it. That's it on. Put her in the corner. You cry, look on the butt.
What else?
And then the other, bro.
Tell me everything you did to her.
Okay.
It's easy. I mean, you've done all these things. Tell me all the. Tell me about the pinching everything. Okay, let's just get it out here.
it's tough, man. It's frustrating. You get frustrated. The things you've been through, I get it. So explain to me all the discipline that you did to this child. Now's your chance to tell me about it. What would you do to discipline those things? There's more than what you just told me. Tell me some of it. Tell me all of it. You would pinch her, okay? Where would you pinch her?
Right here, when she was sitting, right there.
On the inside of her thigh?
Right, no, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here.
Okay. What else would you do?
That's it. That hair missing was her little sister when we were gone. When we went to Austin, her little sister would be hers. Believe it or not, her sister would pull her the sides of her hair, the top of her hair, put her foot on her and pull her fucking hair. And Katrina would let that shit happen.
You saw that happen?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Oh, when we were in Austin for her fucking birthday. I'm not gonna sit here and take all the blame like I killed that little girl because I fucking didn't.
So it was a team effort.
No, that's not what the fuck I'm saying, but okay.
So and you're telling me you injured her, but you're also, what you want me to believe is that
injured her.
Katrina injured her as well?
Injured her. How did I injure her? Pinching?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay. And then
You did other things.
Hands.
Mm-hmm. What would you do when you try to shut her up?
Nothing.
Come on.
I wouldn't do nothing. What was said that I did?
You tell me.
You tell me. You know everything.
I do. That's why I can't believe what you're saying. You're minimizing what you did to this
minimizing. I'm telling you.
Well, it's changed, right? In this little bit of time,
What has changed?
from the beginning of how you were disciplined, all of a sudden it changed. You tell me a little more. You tell me a little more of how you discipline. And that's what I'm getting at. No. It's your opportunity to explain to me what happened to this little girl.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't know everything I fucking have, but I'm telling you what I did. That's what I would do.
And what else?
That's it.
That's not it.
What do you mean that's not it? What else would I do? What else would I do?
You're a controlling man.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, the stuff that you described, the stuff that you told me happened to you when you were younger, I'm sure you did a lot of that to her.
No, I didn't. Because I know what the fuck it feels like. So I didn't.
You did.
I didn't punch on her. I didn't do any of that shit to her. Yeah, maybe I put her on her knees. I didn't make her hold no fucking weight.
What about in the car when she had to hold the box?
A box?
Mm-hmm.
What box?
With stuff in it.
Katrina made her do that. I wasn't even in a car. What? Girl, okay.
Okay, district size. I'm gonna go back over a couple of things on that video. You mentioned in the video injuries to Jose's hands. Can you describe what you saw from the video?
They look like scrapes and marks on his hands.
Okay, and were they on both hands or one hand?
I think they were on both. I can't remember.
Okay, where on his hands were they?
On the exposed areas, not where the rings, under the rings, they were on the fingers.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And some on the knuckle area.
Okay, so not like the palm or the backside of the hand
Right.
on the actual fingers, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. There's also one point where Jose tells you that he would put Mercedes in timeout and have her put her hands like that. Did he demonstrate something to you at that point?
He demonstrated raising them to the side, keeping them lifted.
Up in the air.
Yes.
Okay. He also told you that he would pinch Mercedes on the leg, and I believe you say inner thigh, but he says no right there, and I'm assuming he points to somewhere on his leg, or what's happening there?
Yeah, I can't remember where he was pointing, but yeah, I did mention inner thigh because that's what I've been told.
I know you said you can't remember where, but was it drastically different from what you'd been told, or was it around the same area of the leg?
Around the same area.
Okay, Jose mentions that he had just moved. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what was the name of the new apartment complex?
I don't remember the name of it. It's on Park Crossing.
Okay. And then I believe, does he tell you the previous apartment that he lived in?
He did.
And what apartments are those?
It's 11530 Vance Jackson.
Okay. Do you know the name of the complex?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
Would referring to your report help?
I'm not sure if I put the name of them in here.
We'll move on to the next one. That's pretty much the end of his, and it goes on to, well, they have a lunch break, and then the like a records clerk from the 911 call center where they get the 911 call. Where is it? Here she is. Now you get to watch the skills of this particular individual here who calls herself a defense attorney. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have to go on the call. The room has been invoked, but that means you can't discuss your testimony with anything. You cannot do anything. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state or the defense. Please make sure you're available in case you are recalled.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you, I think
Feel
that-
free to get yourself some snacks and a drink because we've got
All right, state clerk, next witness.
State Counsel Sonia Robinson.
1, 2, 3, 4, another 5 witnesses. They won't be as long as that though. I've got my snacks. Some more ASMR.
Oh, yes, yes,
Sure.
yes.
When this witness gets cross-examined by the defense, you just have to watch her facial expressions. They're hilarious. And the questions that she's asked, ridiculous.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Lasonia Robinson,
State.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Robinson, how are you employed?
through SAPD Communications,
Okay, and what are your duties with SAPD Communications?
paralegal/custodian of records,
Okay, and how long have you been employed in this role?
3 years.
As part of your duties, do you maintain 911 calls?
Yes.
Can you tell me how the 911 calls are recorded?
They're digitally recorded through MediaWorks.
What's MediaWorks?
It is a digital recording system or database.
Okay, so are they recorded automatically?
Yes,
Okay,
in real time.
in real time. Okay, and how are they stored?
They're on a secure database.
And are all calls stored?
Yes,
How long are they stored for?
6 months.
Can I approach Judge?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 84. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how do you recognize it?
My initials and my date.
Okay, have you listened to this prior to coming to court today?
Yes,
Okay, and are these 911 calls that we asked you to listen to?
yes,
Are they involving Jose Ruiz?
yes,
Are they involving an apartment on 812, or I'm sorry, on Vance Jackson Road?
Yes.
Hold on, Judge.
I think these are in the 911 calls from the neighbours, not from Jose or Katrina, because
I'm sorry,
I
where
don't
they at?
believe.
Calls made to 11530 Vance Jackson Road, to be specific.
Yes.
I don't believe that
And I'm
either
sorry,
of them
how many
called
calls are on
911.
this list?
2.
And are they kept in the normal course of business?
Yes.
You already said that, Ruiz. Are they fair and accurate recordings of the recordings that are automatically recorded? When they're made?
Yes.
That was a really bad question. When were they preserved?
Which call are you talking? Because they're both on different dates.
Okay, when was the first one made?
The first one was made November the 30th, and it was saved at that time.
What year?
21.
Okay, and the second call?
December 1st of 21, I believe, also.
And where?
So not the date of the incident, prior to the November and December before the incident, which
Okay,
happened on the 7th of
are
Feb.
they connected to an
2022.
SAPD number?
Yes.
And what SAPD number are they connected to?
SAPD 2202-6527.
Okay, and what is that case that number that you're referencing? What is that regarding? I'm sorry.
All right, the parties approach.
Yes, sir.
Unmute, Jody. Yeah, these are made from the neighbours. One of them lived below Jose, and one of them lived beside Jose, and their main bedroom, they would hear quite a lot of yelling and screaming and a child crying, and they called 911 on numerous occasions, apparently.
Ask your next question.
How do you know that these phone calls are related to Jose Ruiz?
The caller actually says, well, because it's under this case number, that's the best answer I could give you, because I don't recall if the caller actually calls him by name.
Okay, and the calls, I think we already established, they are specifically to the
530 Vance Jackson, apartment 812.
apartment 812.
Your Honor, I'd like to call the witness on voir dire, please. Just a moment. Finish asking your questions for whatever foundation you're laying. And then you'll be allowed to take the witness on voir dire if you wish to.
And I think I believe the predicate at this time. She's established the business record.
Well, have you offered it?
Not yet, Judge. I'll offer State's Exhibit 84.
Would you like to take the witness on voir dire?
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
You may proceed.
Ms. Robinson, good afternoon. My name is Teresa Connolly.
Hello.
Hello. Now, the only way you can identify this case is per a case number, is that correct?
Yes.
This is the defense counsel now.
Case number.
From the requesting person who's requesting the audio,
Who requested the audio?
Bear County.
Bear County. Was it the DA's office? or
Yes, the DA's office.
This courtroom is in Bear
They
County,
made
Texas.
lots of requests, I'm sure. How do you get this one specifically, these calls specifically tied to a case number?
How do we get? Well, under that case number, the calls would be appended or linked. When that 911 initial 911 call comes in, there's a document generated called the incident detail report. On that report, every time a call comes in that is related to that phone number, that address, they'll link it together.
So, in other words, these two calls were linked together on the basis of the phone number that initiated the calls. Is that right?
Yes.
But how did it get marked as a case number?
I don't know how they generate the case numbers or how they come up with
You're
the
talking
case
about
numbers,
a 5-year-old child
because whatever it is that
dead,
that the
and
911
you want to know
callers do
how
or
they generate
dispatchers
the case
do,
numbers on
and
a
they link
fucking
the calls
911
together
call.
under this specific case number. That's how it comes to us. When we
Just watch
when
the
upon
frustration in
request,
this lady's
when
face.
we're asked to pull that audio, we'll pull it underneath that
Nearly as bad
SAPD
as
number
mine.
or case number.
So in other words, you're actually limited as to the information that you have before you compile this. Is that right?
Yes, because we won't pull it if we don't know if a request hasn't come in. A request has to come in for us to
Yeah, they have to ask
pull
for
that
it first.
call and to look for that case number.
But who makes the request? You're saying Bear County. did
Bear
it.
County made this particular
Attorney.
request for these audios.
And this, I'm sorry, district attorneys?
ADAs,
But we're not sure.
Assistant District
You
Attorney.
said Bear County, but there's district attorneys, there's courts.
the email said Bear County ADA's office.
I'm sorry.
So,
Crossing over. I'm sorry. Would you repeat that answer?
because she didn't speak clearly enough.
The email,
Turn your hearing
the
aid up,
request that
love.
came in, the person that requested the audio, it said Bear County's ADA's office.
Thank you. So you received it by an email request from a specific person. Is that
Yes.
correct? And then they provide a case number. And then you file the case number with those particular calls. The DA's.
No, we don't file the case number. Once they request it, the case number is on there. We look for those particular audios under that case number.
Thank you.
Look at the face.
And that email would have said this date or these particular dates and these
No.
particular times.
Just
I
says
don't
the case
recall
number.
what the email said. I just know that it requested these particular audios and I pulled them.
Yeah, and I pulled them.
Or one of my coworkers pulled them.
My co-workers
And that
pulled
would
them.
be based on the phone number,
That would have been based under the case
The
number.
case number.
but you didn't have the case number originally. It wasn't part of the
The face.
part of the process.
Excuse me.
If they don't send the request with the case number, we can't pull anything because we don't know what to pull. So as I said before, previously, whoever requested had the case number on the email, in the email or in their request. So that's how we know to pull that particular audio because it's under that case number.
Yeah, yeah.
Give my
So there.
here, but the case number is generated from the DA's office, not.
No, ma'am, it's not generated from the DA's office.
Who is it generated from?
I'm assuming because I don't know for sure.
Please don't assume.
Okay, well, I can't answer your question.
Okay, thank you. I object to this, Your Honor, not enough foundation, insufficient foundation for the call. Location of it, who made the call, I object to that. Addition of evidence.
Look at the face. She looks like she's just swallowed a lemon.
Judge, she's testified that it was the Vance Jackson apartment, number 812, which has already been in evidence that it was the apartment belonging to the Ruiz. She's testified that it is a recording that is automatically recorded, kept in the regular course of business. We've laid the business predicate, or the business records predicate, and she has tied it specifically to this defendant. And the case number.
There's no personal
Oh, and
identification.
y'all can remain seated when you do your objections. Yes.
There's no personal identification of this call. I don't believe the foundation is complete. Ms. Robinson, I'm sure is very good at her job, but we don't have the right foundation by the state.
All right. The objection is overruled. State's exhibit number 84 is admitted.
May I publish to the jury?
Yes.
Objection continued.
So basically, they objected to them being admitted as evidence. Another pudding? Hello. In. See him in the background there. Oh, move too quick.
Please fire EMS.
I think this would be police.
Police, sir?
Yeah. This is so the neighbors upstairs. I think they're severely beating their kid up.
Why do you think that's what's going on?
Because I live right under them, and the kid is just screaming for the past 20 minutes, and she keeps saying ow, ow, ow every time, and the dad is just yelling at her. I think they're beating her up. I tried to record as much as I could, like voice record what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I mean, somebody needs to come check this out. They always fight. The dad has just the worst temper ever. They fight almost every night.
What's the address, sir? Let's start there.
It's 11530 Vance Jackson Road. That's the Henry B apartments.
What
they are
apartment are they in?
So this is back in November.
812. What numbers is it?
No, it's 812.
Oh, okay.
88. It's just directly 812.
Right. What building 8?
Building 8, yes.
So the parents.
I don't know if you can hear.
Is it just the one child that's in there?
I have no idea how many child they got in there. I don't know what's going on, but it's only one child that's crying that I can tell from.
You said it's been 20 minutes, correct?
What is that?
It's been about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's not.
And you said she's just saying ouch, is that right?
Yeah, she's just saying ow, ow, ow. And she's like severely crying, like waiting.
Like hysterical?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a female?
I think the one that is crying is the female, yes.
Okay.
Can you hear them?
No, I can't hear anything, sir.
Okay.
What else, other than the child that you hear crying, anything else?
No, I mean, that's it. They're just super loud. Like I can hear the entire fight from my place.
Okay. Do you know if anyone's injured anyway, if anyone needs an ambulance?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
Do you want to speak with the officers when they get out there today?
If they want to speak with me, just give me a call back. I'll meet them somewhere. I just don't want them to see me with the officers, and then there'll be a bigger deal.
I find from 817-715-0454. Is that correct?
Correct.
You said the father is known to have a temper. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, it's a male up there. I don't know if it's a father, stepfather, or somebody. But it's just there's a male up there with a very bad temper.
Okay. All right. No problem. You're going to office out there doing what for check on her. Okay.
Thank you.
And Miss Johnson, what was the date of that call?
Miss Robinson?
I'm sorry. Miss Robinson.
It was 11/30/21.
Thank you.
San Antonio 911, this is Crystal. Police, fire, or EMS?
Please. This is about a very loud noise complaint.
Okay. What's the address?
11530 Vance Jackson Road, apartment 812.
Okay, you said 11530 Vance Jackson Road. And you said, what was the apartment number?
812.
812. Are these the head of the apartment?
Yep.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Mo.
Your name is what?
Mo.
Okay. I stopped the call about halfway through. He doesn't say anything else other than his phone number for the record. What was the date of that second call?
The second call was December 1st, 21.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Robinson, do you ever obtain the name of who makes these calls?
Yes, he says his name.
He said Mo.
Yes, he said Mo.
What else do you know about his name?
That's it, Mo.
Subsequently, you look up the names of any of these people?
No.
I didn't hear him give the name of the person. Did you hear the name given of the person being complained about?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
So,
No further questions. Judge.
is this witness subject to recall?
No.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you can't discuss your testimony with anyone or view anything. The only persons you're allowed to talk to are attorneys for the state of the defense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
State, call your next witness.
The state calls Mohammed Hassona.
So this is Mo, the originator of the phone calls, the 911 phone calls, who lives underneath Jose's apartment. Mo is short for Mohammed, I think.
All right, if you raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. If you make sure you keep your voice up so that the jurors can hear and the court reporter.
He's got a Homer Simpson head.
You'll state your name for the record.
My name is Mohammed.
Or full name.
Oh, Mohammed Hassan.
All right, state.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good
Can you
afternoon.
please spell your name?
Yes. It spells Mohannad. Last name spells Hasona.
Okay. Is there a name you go by?
Mohammed
Mo.
or Mo.
Mo.
Yeah.
Do you
Hey,
call you
Mo.
Yeah, some people
Mo.
do. Yeah.
Do you refer to yourself as Mo?
Hey, Mo.
Sometimes when it's really hard to hear my name, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Mo.
And where do you presently live?
In Grenada.
Grenada, not Grenada,
No, Grenada, West Indies, Caribbean.
West Indies,
Correct.
not Grenada, Spain.
Correct.
And what are you doing there?
I'm studying medicine.
You're studying medicine.
Yes.
I'm
Did you
studying
ever live
medicine
in
in the
San Antonio?
Caribbean.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you
That
live?
sounds quite nice right
Why
about
were you
now.
in San Antonio?
I was studying at UT Health Science Center. I was in the Masters of Respiratory Care program
Okay. And where were you living when you lived in San Antonio?
at the Henry B.
At the Henry B.
Correct.
Apartments?
Correct.
Are those the ones that are located here in Bear County, off James Jackson?
Yeah, 11530 Van Jackson. Yeah.
Okay. And what was your apartment number?
811.
Okay. What was the apartment number right above you?
I believe it was 812.
Okay. And would 810 been below you?
I think so.
That's how
I
it did
think
810
so.
below?
Excuse me, one at a time.
I'm sorry.
I do believe so. Yes.
When you were living at 812, I'm sorry.
I was at
you were
811. Yes.
811.
Yes.
Did you ever know anything about your neighbors above you in 812?
As far as like
As far as, did you ever meet them?
in passing,
in
I would say yes.
Do you see the residents of 812? Do you see him in court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify him by an article of clothing?
Yes, he's wearing a blue jacket, blue suit jacket.
I'm glad they didn't ask to identify the
Navy
lady.
blue suit, yeah.
I'll let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant, Jose Ruiz. Now, how long did Mr. Ruiz live above you in 812?
I'm not entirely sure. A few months, I would say, a year.
And what time period did you live in
Mohammed.
Henry B. Apartments?
I lived there for about 2 years, 2021 through a little bit of 2023, I believe.
Now, did you ever have any concerns about the individuals that lived above you?
Yes, I've called 911 multiple times for noise complaints, as well as the reason why we're here today, the child that was continuously crying. And
Excuse me, sir, could you speak a little slower and a little closer to the
Yeah, I mean, don't know how I can get possibly closer
I'll
than
break
that.
that down a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Did you ever call emergency personnel regarding concerns about the individuals in the apartment above you?
Yes.
Did you call them multiple times?
Yes.
Just generally, what were some of the reasons that you called?
Noise complaints, and the child that was crying.
Now let's talk about the child.
Okay.
Did you ever meet a child that lived in 812?
In passing, yes.
And could you approximate an age of the child?
Based on my medical experience, no more than 7 years old. I would say between, I don't know, 5 to 7.
And was the child male or female?
Female.
Did she have dark or light hair?
Dark hair.
And did you ever speak to her?
No, she just pet my dog a couple of times, going up and down the stairs, and we would say hi, she'd say hi, and that's about it.
Did you ever see more than one child?
I want to say yes, but I don't completely recall. But I'd never seen any other children other than females. So if there was more than one child, another female possibly.
Did you know the name of the children?
No, ma'am. No.
You said you lived in Henry B. 2021 through 2022? Is that correct?
To 2023, yes.
Okay. When did you start noticing a child crying, if you remember?
Around, I want to say around the November 2021 timeframe.
And is there a particular time of day that you would hear the child?
Not a particular time, just I would say mostly during the day. Yeah.
And what was your work schedule back then?
It depended on what I was doing that day because I was in the program. So we would either be at the university, and that would.
All right. He doesn't really say a lot more, so we'll move on to the next witness. This is Gabriella, another neighbor next door.
Oh, if you'll take a seat here, please.
I love Judge Boyd.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give?
This woman's skin is amazing.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury can hear and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record, please.
Gabriella Iturbe.
Hispanic women, absolutely stunning.
Good afternoon, Gabriella. Can you please spell your full name for the court reporter?
Gabriella. Last name Iturbe, Iturbe.
Can you please pronounce your last name?
Iturbe.
Okay. So, do you live here in San Antonio?
Yes.
And was there ever a time when you lived at the Henry B. Apartments on Vance Jackson?
Yes.
What apartment number did you live when you were there?
I don't remember the number.
Do you remember what building it was? Remember building?
No.
No, that's okay. That's okay. When did you live there?
It was about 2020, 2021, around there.
Okay.
Mayor, would you mind speaking up your hand, please?
All right, make sure you speak up.
And do you go by Gabby?
Yes.
Can I call you Gabby?
Sure.
Okay. Gabby, did you have anyone living with you at the time?
Yes. My fiance and my daughter.
And how old was your daughter when you lived at Henry B?
A couple months.
A baby.
Yes, she's little.
When was she born?
In 2020.
I guess what month?
In December.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry, can't hear the witness. All right, could you just try to speak louder, please? And then just speak directly to the microphone.
Try to speak louder because the defence can't hear you. That was the request.
So, December 2020. Okay. So, 2021, she was a little baby.
Yes.
Right. Did you ever, while you were living at Henry B, start having concerns about the behaviors of a neighbor?
Yes.
Do you, did you ever see this neighbor?
Here and there, just kind of mainly in the stairwell area, parking lot.
And where was your apartment related to the neighbor you had concerns about?
If you were facing the building, our apartment was on the right side. We shared separate stairwells though.
Did you share any walls?
Yes.
What was the layout of your apartment?
If you were to walk in, there's like a little hallway. On the left side, it was the primary bedroom and a closet. And then it leads into a Jack and Jill restroom. And then the spare bedroom.
Okay, so it was a 2-bedroom?
Yes.
Did you have a fireplace?
Yes.
Did you have a balcony?
Yes.
Do you see that neighbor in court today?
Yes.
Can you please identify that neighbor by an article of clothing?
Suit and tie.
I'll let the record reflect that she has identified the defendant, Ruiz.
All right, is she the only person with a suit and tie?
Can you add another description, please?
Glasses and beard.
All right, is he the only person with glasses and beard?
Where is he?
On the far
What
right
color-
side, far
what
right.
color tie?
Black.
Okay. Let the record reflect that she has identified the defendant, Jose Ruiz. Okay, so generally, at first, what were your concerns about Mr. Ruiz?
Like in general, all over.
In general, well, I guess, what was your first concern about Mr. Ruiz?
Mainly it was just the loud music at first. It was just
Wonder if they
random
put loud music
hours,
on
like
to muffle
12,
the
2 in the
noises.
morning. And I mean, then it was like the parking.
Then it was the parking?
Mhm.
Okay. Was there ever anything that caused you so much concern that you wanted to call the police?
Yes.
What was that?
The screaming, the sounds of hitting, yelling, kids crying.
What kind of screaming did you hear?
Like just cussing, yelling at them, just yelling in general. I don't know.
Did you hear a male voice yelling?
I heard both.
And you heard a female?
Correct.
Were these adult voices?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever hear children yelling?
Not so much yelling, but more crying or screaming.
And you had a baby at the time, right? Can you tell the difference between crying because they need something or crying from pain?
Yes.
What was this crying?
It was harmful, like pleading. It was, yes.
Did you ever hear, as the child was crying, did she ever say anything?
I did hear him refer to her as dad.
Refer to the male voice as dad?
So I assumed he was the father, yes. It would be like, no, dad, stop, or just crying in general, saying stop, or just tears, or screaming, no.
Did you ever learn the child's name?
Yes.
How did you know the child's name?
I heard the female voice scream Mercedes a lot. Like she was blaming her for a lot of things, saying things were her fault and like Mercedes stop or just really loud.
Was there another child with them?
Yes.
Did you know the other child's name?
No.
Did you ever hear another name cried out?
Mm-mm.
It was always Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to say yes or no.
Yes.
It was always Mercedes.
Yes.
And you never heard any other children's name?
No.
And you didn't even know what the other child's name was?
No, I didn't.
So were you ever introduced to the children?
No.
You only know Mercedes' name because that's what you heard screamed.
Yes.
How often would you hear?
At least once a week. I mean, it was a while ago, so I can't say specifically the days, but it was quite often. It was a little too much, you know.
Were there ever any other noises accompanying the crying?
Yes, like I said, the loud music a lot of the times. Hitting, you could hear like slaps or punches.
And the slaps or punches,
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a slap, small slap, or what makes you think that they were slaps or punches?
Well, punches are more muffled, you know, you kind of hear like a ugh in the end, and then a slap is a little bit louder, higher pitched. And I mean, it has to be loud for it to be going through the wall.
And was it at the same time you heard the crying?
Pretty much most times, yeah.
Okay, so hearing the yelling and the crying and the noises put together, that's what led you to believe it was a bunch.
Yes.
Did you ever document anything when you would hear these?
Yes.
Why would you document?
It just felt wrong. Like I had just had a gut feeling that something was wrong, and it just better feel safe than sorry kind of thing.
And did you call the police?
Yes.
And did an officer come out?
Yes.
Did anything happen with that?
No.
Did an officer ever talk to you
No.
before it was too late?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, defense has questions about my exhibit. May I have a few seconds to show them? Okay, I'm going to show you what's been labeled the SAIZ exhibit number 85. Are those the notes you kept for yourself?
Yes, I think this is a day that it was specifically bad because it was really a random time for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was more awake because it was during the day.
Okay. And I don't want you to read directly from it, but if you need to refer to it to remember kind of the events of that night in particular.
Okay.
When did the crying start that night?
I mean, around 4:30.
And how long did the crying go on?
About 3 hours.
And Were you trying to sleep during this?
I mean, I woke up because my daughter woke up, and then you know, having to really put her back down, just kind of around the apartment.
How long? You said this particular date, and do you recall what date this was?
November 30th,
Of what year?
2021.
How long did this episode last where you were documenting it? From when to when?
About November to January.
And on this particular night, how long were you taking notes?
I believe I started when my daughter woke up, and then until I stopped hearing things. It was about 3 p.m.
So, and when did you start? What time did you start?
Around 4.
Okay, so from 4 a.m. to 3 p.m., you were hearing concerning noises.
Yes.
Were these noises of a child crying?
Here and there, yeah.
Did you hear a male voice?
Yes.
Could you ever make out words?
Not always. So I mean, it's a wall. It's fairly thin enough to hear what's happening, but not always full sentences, I guess.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness again?
Yes. You all can approach the witness without asking the court to approach the witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, I'm showing you what has been previously admitted has State's Exhibit number 80. Do you recognize this floor plan?
Yes, ours is the same, just flipped the other way.
Yours is flipped the other way.
Mhm.
Which wall? Well, you said you shared a wall.
Yes, the whole line on this far right side.
On the right side. So the wall with the bedroom, the study, and the bathroom.
Correct.
Okay. Was there a particular part of that wall that you shared where you heard more screaming than the others?
Mostly in the bedroom.
In the bedroom. Was there a particular... So it's fair to say your floor plan was just flipped.
Correct.
So yours was bedroom, bedroom, and closet, closet, bathroom, bathroom, study, study, and everything was just flipped.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So was your bedroom, was it your bedroom where you heard it?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a particular part of the bedroom?
I would say mainly along the line that we shared, and then I think maybe sometimes in the closet, just maybe it just muffles through, or
The closet?
They used to put Mercedes in the
Do you
closet as
remember
punishment.
any words in particular that were screamed that stand out to you?
the little girl saying, "No, Daddy, stop." Am I allowed to talk about the mom as well, or?
I'll stop you right there.
Okay.
When the mom, you heard the mom yelling. Though.
Yes.
Was it yelling directed at Mercedes?
Yes.
Was she referring to her other daughter in any way?
Not on most occasions. No, it was mainly at her.
And did the noises that you heard, could you tell if they were coming from the male or the female at all?
Yeah, they're pretty distinctive.
And so, what do you feel was more frequent?
I would say the male.
And when the noises that sounded like a male banging would happen, was the crying different between the male and the female?
I believe that the crying was just more somber. With the female, it was more like yelling words back versus just kind of quietly.
So did it sound like she was fighting back?
I think she would just kind of talk back to the female in certain ways, but of course I couldn't make out exactly what she was saying to her.
So when the female was yelling and there were sounds like maybe banging, you're saying that Mercedes would talk back?
On some occasions, yes.
Okay. When the male, in your opinion, the male was making banging noises, did you ever hear Mercedes talk back?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
Defense. Good afternoon. My name is Teresa Conlon. You did call the police.
Yes.
Did they come?
Yes.
Did they interview you?
No.
Was any action taken to your knowledge?
No.
Did you hear them go upstairs?
I believe once they did.
Once they did?
Yes, they never went inside though. They just talked to them from the door.
How do you know they never went inside?
Because it was a quick conversation and then they closed the door. We can hear when the door opens.
A quick conversation?
It seemed like it was very short. It wasn't like they came in.
Do you have any idea what the nature of the conversation was?
Not entirely, no.
And you're sure that police did not go into the apartment?
Yes.
Did they interview the child, do you know?
As far as I know, they did not.
Did you ever call the police any other time?
I believe I called 2 or 3 times, yes.
Did the police ever come other than this?
No.
So what did you do? You called 911 or you called directly to SAPD?
911.
You called 911. At least twice more.
Correct.
And nobody ever responded?
No, ma'am.
Even by phone?
Nobody ever gave me an update on anything, no.
Did you ever see the police at any other time other than that one night?
I believe when we first started calling about like mainly noise complaints, they did show up once, but I think because it was just like a reoccurring thing, they stopped caring.
The only time you ever called about a child crying was that one time when they did come, but they only stayed outside to the best of your knowledge.
I believe I called twice about the child crying.
Twice.
Yes.
The second time they never showed up?
No.
And the first time they never intervened? The
They
child
never
as far
saw
as
her,
you know?
no. Yeah.
It's disgraceful.
Thank you, Mrs. Sherman. I'm finished. Yes, witness.
All right, the next one is
Did you ever see the child?
On I believe the last day she left. Yeah.
All right, does someone want to move State's Exhibit number 85?
Yes, Judge. And can we approach very briefly?
Yes. But you want to remove State's Exhibit number 85?
this is the previous witness's husband, just to clarify her testimony. She's called Gabriella and he's Gabrielle, I believe. She goes by Gabby. This is the second last witness for the day. So we're nearly through. This is the biggest load of witnesses
Keep your voice up for members of
for
the jury. The court reporter, state your name.
day in the trial.
Gabriel Donato.
State.
Yes. Good afternoon. Do you know Gabby Urban?
Yes, I do.
Who is that?
That is my wife now.
And do you have any children with her?
I do have one.
Were you living with her at the Henry apartment?
Yes, I was.
What time frame was that?
We moved in
It was in March of 2020, and lease ended in March of 2021, beginning of March.
2021?
Sure. No, sorry. 2021 March of 2021 to 2022.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Was there anyone else that lived with you other than your wife and your child?
No.
Do you recall the apartment number?
I believe it's 805. I believe so.
Okay. Do you recall having concerns about a neighbor?
Yes.
Do you recall what apartment number that was?
Yes, 812.
812.
Did you ever observe the neighbor in 812?
Very frequently, yes.
Do you see that neighbor?
I do.
Can you please identify him by the color, by an article and colors?
Know what's their
Hispanic
faces.
male, gray slacks with a navy jacket, black tie, white shirt, beard, glasses, and I believe a tattoo in the back of his neck.
Okay. What was the nature of your concerns about Mr. Ruiz?
At first, when we first noticed him moved into the apartment, he was he seemed okay, just a regular neighbor. There was no anything that was off about him, other than he drove a big truck, took up most of the parking spaces, and that was pretty much what I recall from the beginning.
Did you ever see any children at 812?
Towards the ending of the year of 2021, it was like towards October, November, and December when I noticed children.
So end of 2021, you started seeing children?
Yes, correct.
How many children?
2.
Did you know the names of the children?
No, I did not. Not at that time.
Okay. Did you ever have any concern as to the children?
During like November, around that time in November, there was incidents where we had concerns, or I had concerns with the child crying and screaming and being outside and not being watched outside.
Did you ever hear adults yelling?
Yes, very frequently.
And was there one area of the apartment where you would hear more noise?
So he pretty much basically just verifies his wife's testimony and repeats the same. So the next witness is Ralph Shockert. Now, this gentleman was on the grand jury for this trial, which was held in the May of 2021, and they were tasked with establishing probable cause to enable the trial to go ahead, basically. And the defence is not happy about this witness's testimony coming in, so there's lots and lots of objections. And we shall start off 6:04. Ralph.
Can you hear me okay?
Via Zoom.
Okay. Can you tell me, have you ever been on a grand jury?
Yes, I have.
And when were you on a grand jury?
It's about 2 years ago, May, June.
Okay, so 2 years ago, so 2022?
That is correct.
Okay. Just briefly, can you explain to the jury what a grand jury does?
A grand jury hears from the, was there something said to the lady?
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Yes,
Your Honor, I'd like to offer proof on this witness
offer proof as to what?
as to what he's testifying.
I believe he's here to testify about the finding of manner and means unknown. I could be incorrect about that. Is that what he's here to testify to?
That is what he's here to testify.
Your Honor, I object to that. I don't think his testimony is relevant. There's only one person on the grand jury. Why not bring them all
All right.
Somebody might dispute what he has to say.
She should have deposed this witness. Did she not at least witness his deposition? That's normal procedure in a court.
Can you just briefly
She should know exactly what he's testifying.
or what the duties of a grand jury was?
Yeah, the deputy district attorneys are presenting cases and circumstances that found out through different means, police.
Objection, Your Honor. Again, how is this witness qualified to say what the procedures are for the grand jury? He's a man who's there maybe one time.
All right. Do you want to lay the foundation?
Yes, sir. Mr. Trevor, how long were you on a grand jury?
In a total of 8 weeks.
Okay, and how often do you come and perform your duties as a grand juror?
It was two times a week.
Okay, so for several months you're here and twice a week, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do we want to address the objection now, or is that sufficient?
Is there another objection?
Your Honor, he's been here he was there for a total of 8 weeks, twice a week. How does that qualify him to be an expert on what happens in a grand jury?
All right.
I haven't
That objection will
put
be
him up
overruled.
as an
Ask your next
expert.
question, please.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Shocker, just to be clear, you're not there to establish guilt. You're only establishing probable cause. Is that what was explained to you?
Right. We were instructed that as a grand jury, we only have to come to a decision whether a crime is probable that a crime has happened, and that the accused are probably being the perpetrators in these cases. So only probability.
Yes.
Sorry, objection again, hearsay.
All right. That'll be sustained. Could parties approach, please?
That pretty much they have a long bench conference, the lawyers or the attorneys on both sides, and then they resume the proceedings only to close up for the day. So Mr. Shockert doesn't testify anymore. So he was basically on the grand jury, and what happens is they present all of the evidence of the case to the grand jury, and they need to decide whether or not it is more than likely or more probable that the crime occurred and that the person being charged with that crime was the most likely person to have committed it. So they need to establish probable cause, and then they move forward to a trial. And generally what happens in a grand jury is sealed and not exposed to the public. So that ends day 2 of this trial. So tomorrow's stay tuned, because tomorrow is a very interesting day. Tomorrow we get to hear from Katrina Mendoza, who is the mother, and it's a little bit confronting, I found, but I had to remember that, you know, this woman was 15 when she fell pregnant with Jordan, and 15 when she had Jordan and 16 when she had Mercedes. So she was 21 at the time of the incident and 23 or 4, I think, at the time of trial. So she comes across as very naive, immature, inexperienced, but also very unemotional, very cold. So, yeah, it's worth tuning into tomorrow. Tomorrow, they also have the chief medical examiner, who they interview, and yeah, extremely interesting. So stay tuned. That's the end of day 2 today. I hope that you have enjoyed watching the recap with me, and thank you for sharing my live stream cherry popping. we didn't actually, touch wood, have too many interruptions or internet issues or wardrobe malfunctions or anything. So that's a plus plus. All right. So until next time, stay tuned. It'll be so click on like and subscribe. And there's a little bell beside the subscribe button. If you ring that bell, click on that. It will notify you every time that I upload a new video or go live. So I shall see you in the next one.